Hello, Facebook Live and YouTube Live, True Inner Work community. I want to call forward some specific types of people in this video. Specifically, I see a lot of us wanting to give, wanting to serve from this really beautiful place, and that's amazing. We do need more of that. And there's this really clever trick that we play on ourselves at the same time where I see some people building up others so much and them always being in the shadows, which can also be a good thing. So there's truth always in all of these little distinctions that I talk a lot about on my YouTube channel here, right? And the distinction and truth that I want to point out today is that we can get caught as caregivers in serving so beyond ourselves that from a place of really, I feel unworthy. I feel unworthy of me being great. And so I'm going to raise up everyone else around me rather than be great myself. And the realization here is that we can do both. We can do both. And that as leaders of a community, what we need to be able to do is celebrate and be proud and embody that confidence balanced with that humility. That's what people need more of. Because what people are having a hard time doing in terms of stepping into their power is feeling proud, is feeling worthy, is being grateful and giving themselves permission to receive and to celebrate and to be abundant, right? We're afraid of being judged for all the qualities that go along with greatness. And so for a leader to try and raise up others above him or her from a place of disguised unworthiness is not doing the community any favors. They need to see someone in their power so that they can model that and model that being. And it's interesting because we can get trapped in this humble place, right? Where it's like, yes, humility is so needed in the world, and also everything can be used as a trap to stop us from becoming fully who we are and living that embodied, empowered, spiritual, loving, peaceful, joyful, blissful, enlightened self, right? So much can get in the way of that. And I really see the archetype of this person I'm talking about today as playing a really good trick on themselves. And so it's getting in touch with that unworthiness within us, really being honest and looking deep within and saying, what in me is trying to emerge right now? What can I be proud of? Pride is a thing that I've been really working on in the last probably year. And it's really helped me get a lot of more coaching clients, actually. Because realizing it's okay to be proud of ourselves and that we won't be necessarily arrogant or perceived as conceited or whatever those negative things that we're afraid of when we step into our power and our greatness, right? Ultimately, I can't change the way people judge me in the first place. So one great TED Talk that I can't remember the name of right now talked about saying facts. And if it's a fact, then you can say that with pride, because it's not you building up your ego. We're afraid of building up our egos so much nowadays. This spiritual community of like, oh, I don't want to like build up my ego. Well, it's like you can still build up yourself from a place of humility and confidence and pride and worthiness, because that's what it is, right? It's just saying like, hey, I'll stay a fact. I signed up a client for over $350 an hour. And that felt amazing. And I'm really proud of that in myself. And I really want to continue to increase my rates. Right. And that's all true. And that's not me saying it from this like, look at me, I'm better than you place. Right. Hi, Shanez. Thanks for tuning in. So it's really distinguishing between my good intentions, my pure heart's desire, and my ego. And a lot of us are afraid of this ego within us. And that's what's keeping us small because we're afraid of being too much. So, shame has two tapes, Brene Brown says. I'm not good enough. And who do you think you are? And I'm not good enough is what keeps so many of us small, right? I'm not good enough to do this. I need a credential to do that. You know, I can't do it now, sometime in the future, right? Whatever the excuse is for putting off the thing. Then as soon as we get over that, I'm not good enough, then what we run into is what I'm talking about in this video here, which is I'm afraid of being too much. I'm afraid of showing who I really am. I'm afraid of stepping into my power. I'm afraid of owning my truth. I'm afraid of being worthy in a way that intimidates other people or that just doesn't feel comfortable for me because really I'm stuck in that not good enough. And I'm actually going to cling to that not good enough instead. And I'm going to create this illusion that I am helping other people so selflessly that I don't matter. But really, what I've done is allowed myself to be run into the ground, and I'm not embodying real leadership. I'm trying to get others to. And this is a really convenient scapegoat for that opportunity for myself. So, the ego is a tricky thing in that way, where if we're not careful, it can convince us into believing that us avoiding what we're really afraid of in service of others is a good thing. Right? Isn't that cool? Or isn't that frustrating or whatever it is for you? But is there anyone that you see in your life like that? There's this disguise of selflessness, right? We definitely need more selflessness here, and also it can be a trap. Trap just meaning something that gets you stuck and believing something that's stopping your potential and truth from coming forward most powerfully in the world. So I want to just pause for a moment and feel into if there's anything else that needs speaking on this topic. It's just interesting how we can spend so much of our lives trying to move beyond ourselves, and in this specific video, this person and this what this person represents, I see everyone around this person really rewarding that behavior too, because it makes sense. Look, it's not about this person keeps doing all these good things and yet cleverly avoiding their power, cleverly avoiding what they're really scared of, which is putting themselves out there. So they're trying to get everyone else out there, which seems like such a great idea. But again, if we want to be a real leader, a real change maker, a real person who raises other leaders, we have to be one. And in this case, from my perspective, that person is not being that kind of leader. So let's leave it at that for today. Please comment below if you have any questions. I'd love it if you shared your stories, or if you see anyone doing something similar, caught in a similar trap. That'd be really cool to chat about. Subscribe on YouTube. Check out my website, briantohena.com, and I super appreciate you listening. See you next time.